All right, let's go ahead and check this out here. We have this has been sitting in AP for, I want to say, like 3 weeks now, so we should be good. Everything should be off of there, and we're just going to use a cotton ball to filter this out with the tiny little flask, and it may take quite some time to actually, let's see here. Alright, that did not work at all. She sucked that cotton ball right through there. So we're just going to do it with just half of the Buckner funnel. It's kind of a pain to get these little gold flakes or gold foils out of the top half of the Buckner funnel with all the dots. It just is like, it takes forever to get it all collected. So I'm just going to go ahead and try it this way, see if that helps. I think it will, just because we don't have that flat surface with all the perforated holes in it, and this is coned all the way down to the center. So in reality, we should be able to just flush any excess foils down and out the bottom into the beaker we want. So this is going to take some time because I don't have vacuum to it. I don't want to puncture a hole in the bottom of this filter paper, because all of that suction is going to be through a tiny little hole instead of evenly, put through a bunch of small holes. So especially when it gets packed with foils, I don't want to suck it all through and then have to redo everything again. So because this is going to take some time, I'm not going to make you watch it, and I'll come back when we got all the foils, at least in the top half of the Buckner funnel, and then so I can kind of show you if this particular idea works or not. All the gold foils are off the CPUs. They're in here, and we are filtering them out. Yeah, buddy. Alright, there's our pile of goodies. We've got a little bit of MLCCs in there, and then a whole bunch of gold foils. Let's get that out of here and put that in some Aqua Regia. So I still have the that cotton ball. I'm gonna do this separately, if it's even worth doing at all. There's a little bit of foils in there, as we can kind of see. My biggest fear is we're gonna absorb some of that solution when we dissolve the gold, and it's gonna be a pain to get it all out. So I'm thinking the gold that's left in here, when dissolved and soaked up by this cotton swab, there's probably less in here than the cotton's going to absorb. So we'll try to do it separately, see if we can pull a little bit out, if anything at all. There is so little in there. We'll give it a shot just to see. But the main focus is this guy right here. So I did spray it off. We can see the filter is kind of clear. There's a little bit of green. So we'll have a little bit of other stuff we got to deal with, but that's not pure gold anyways. So we're gonna have to clean this up regardless. Let's see here. Do I want to swap into the smaller one? Yeah, let me do a quick swap. Alright, we're back in business here. And we're working with a 200 milliliter beaker now. We're going to get everything covered. Let me get you down for a close-up here. Alright, and we're going to use a little bit of nitric today. We used about 1.5 mils. So we'll let that do its thing for a while. It might have to sit off the heat for a second. I'm working on some more gold over here, and it's actually looking pretty good. I think I'm on my last nitric boil there. So this will just sit here kind of out in the open, at least until that bath is done. And then we'll rock and roll. Back at this refining. So no heat on it yet. Let's see here. You know, I really don't see any gold flakes in there. We'll add a little bit more nitric. Just a little bit more, and then we'll throw it on the heat just for a little bit, just to verify we do have everything out. Probably, I'd say just a mil. Nothing crazy. Nothing crazy. So this drop we're going to do with, I have just a little bit of copper, or not copper sulfate, iron sulfate crystals. Well, they look like they're just about done. So we'll give it a shot and see if they work. Because there's going to be, I imagine, with the MLCCs, there's a possibility that there's some platinum or palladium in there, and I don't want to deal with that while we're refining all of the gold all at one time. So that's what we're going to do with that. And yeah, in the meantime, we'll let this cook, and then we'll get back to it, filter it out, drop the gold. All right, well, no reaction, so we're going to go ahead and let this cool down a bit. And then we'll go ahead and filter that bad boy out. See what we can get out of there. Alright, let's go ahead and filter this bad boy out. I'm going to run it through twice. Well, actually probably more than that. But before I add the sulfuric acid, I want to get rid of all of the goods in here. Just to see if there's lead sulfate in there. I want to show you what that looks like coming out. So let's get to filtering. There's not a whole lot of solution here, so it should go relatively quickly. And that's all the goodies we got out of there. Alright, let's grab some sulfuric acid quick, see if we can get any lead sulfate coming out. There it is. All right, here we go. So this is the third filtering. It didn't take too long. Luckily, it's not a whole bunch of solution. That actually probably could go one more time. All right, just kidding. On to number 4. After that fourth one, we are back in business. But I'm going to tell you right now that this project right here is going to require the scientific straw. Alright, let's do a little test, see what we got. Hopefully a positive. That would always be good. Just by the color, I could say we don't have a whole lot. This tin does not look good though. 1 second. Alright, now we have to see. I haven't used my stannous in a long time. So let's see if the gold in there is that small or that little, or my stannous is bad. My presumption is that my stannous is fine, and that there's just that little amount of gold in these pinless CPUs that it's not going to show very well. So just like that, the scientific straw in the stannous are good. Alright, so we know that there is not a whole lot of gold in there. Well, on that note, let's see. Let's grab some crystals and throw them in anyways, because I know there's a little bit. See if we can get any sight of reaction. Here, let me close that up. We don't need the test solution anymore. Yeah, I recommend keeping just a little bit. It works really well. Alright. And I'm not going to put a whole bunch of this in there. And this is really going to be hard to tell if we got it all out. If we really get anything out of there. Just because we're not testing positive. And we'll let this sit overnight because it's this might take a minute for that little bit of gold in there to come out of solution. So we will get back to this tomorrow and we'll see if we got anything. Alright, so we don't have any precipitate, and if we do, it is extremely fine. What I might do, I'm not too sure actually. Where am I going to start? So, okay, where I'm going to start is I'm going to see if I can evaporate the solution down, and see if that helps give us a test, a better test. Because there's a possibility that those crystals were bad. Just with looking at them and how rusty they were, they might be donezo. So I may try to do this with SMB just for round 2. But before I do that is I want to I want to concentrate this solution. So we'll start with that. And then if we don't get anything, there's a possibility that our gold is still in here and has cemented out on some of the smaller things. So I may try and run some aqua regia on this stuff again. Those MLCCs, they still look like they're intact, so I'm not too worried, but there may be some base metals in there that the gold is cementing out on. So let's give that a shot, and yeah, we'll start with the solution we have. We'll concentrate it a little better, and see if we get a reading there, and then we'll try. See, I can't tell if those are gold flakes left over It doesn't look like it. But we'll rerun this again too, just to see. Alright, I have been getting my butt kicked by these Pinless. I don't know if it's just the... Oh, ripped my glove. I don't know if it's just because I'm battling a small amount of gold or what, but I'm not getting this to drop. Well, to a degree. I've got something on the bottom now. I ended up having to... So I evaporated it like I was saying, and then that didn't really work, so I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna go ahead and put I just put SMB in it. So everything at the bottom here, it could be a whole bunch of things. And hold on, let's pour this out. And what little bit is there so even what's come over it's gonna be it's gonna be fun. This small amount is gonna be fun to deal with. Alright, so there it is. Not a whole bunch. I'm going to try and dissolve this how it sits. We're going to try and run this again with just a small amount of hydrochloric and probably like a milliliter of nitric. And see if we can get this to come out of solution in something that's kind of easy to deal with. Because this stuff is, if it's gold, it's extremely colloidal. And, you know, we're talking probably a tenth of a gram. So, not very much gold. Let's see. Alright, well, let's see if that works. Once I get it into liquid, I'm going to go ahead and transfer it over to a 50 milliliter beaker. That will be, it'll be much easier to deal with than, I got a 200 here. So, let's see. And we are talking very, very small amounts. And this may not work either because I wasn't able to get all the liquid out. But it would be a good indication with just this small amount of liquid. Maybe we can get some sort of gold to show up on a stannous test and verify that that's actually gold. You know, like I said, that could be platinum, palladium from the MLCCs. Maybe not platinum, but palladium more so. Alright, well, let's kick that on the heat and see what we can get out of that. It is changing color. I'm going to sit down here and let that happen because I imagine once it heats up, it's going to happen fairly quickly. Maybe we can get it all in one shot here. But this stuff in here, I don't even know what to do with. It's so small. You know, if I try and filter it out and redissolve it, it's, you know, you're you're gonna lose more gold to the filter than you are gonna pull out of it. You know, is it worth doing and then just kind of dumping in the stock pot until you get enough gold to deal with it? Very small amounts, very small amounts. So we do have reaction, and it is turning gold color, so that is good. Okay, maybe we might have found some. I've had multiple conversations with people online that, well, I should say in the comment section, that that say the similar thing, that these pinless are almost not worth going after as a small scale refiner. Yep, there goes. Just because the amounts that you actually get out of them is next to none. What I've been told is that you get more, or you're going to waste more in acids than you are going to get in gold. You know, it's hard to. I think we've got everything dissolved at this point. It's still kind of cloudy, though. It's definitely not gold, whatever stuck to the bottom. Alright, dealing with smaller beakers, so it is time to get a little bit of a close-up. Alright, so we are just going to go ahead. It's a little cloudy, but what we'll do is, with this little bit of gold that we're getting here, we'll add it to the rest of it, and then we'll refine all of it together, all said and done. Just because we're kind of running out of material here, I might have to put a little bit of sulfamic in there too. That worries me with this little bit. So here's that filter as well. I kept that separate. I don't see like any hints of purple on this thing whatsoever that screams gold. I mean, I can rerun this and we can make a part 2 out of it, but I'm thinking we got it, and it's just a very, very small amount that we're actually dealing with. Alright, well, we'll go ahead and check that out tomorrow. See if anything comes out of there. But we may have to do a part 2 and go back after this filter. Because I don't see a color change or nothing in here. We'll see what happens. What is going on, everybody?
Man, these pinless CPUs are kicking my butt. So I think my biggest mistake with them was trying to refine them along with the MLCCs. I should have separated those first. I didn't foresee them being an issue, and they might not be an issue. There might just be that little gold in this small batch of pinless CPUs that I did have. But I want to verify. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to filter out all those solutions. So both the little one and the big one, we're going to dump that over the filter that I currently have. And then what I'm going to do is incinerate that and see if we can get it that way. And hopefully, see, my concern with that is with the incineration process, well, now we're making carbon in there, and what little gold that could be in there could be absorbed by the carbon, right? It'd be like, oh man, back to square one. So I'd like to hear what you guys think. What do you think I should do from here? But I'm thinking incineration, and if I just do, because it's just a one filter, so if I do a really good job of incinerating, making sure everything is white, no black, and it's just ash, we can deal with the ash. That shouldn't absorb anything. So, because I don't think I'll do gravity separation or anything like that, because that filter could also hold some of the gold. So I think we'll just ash it all, get it nice, white, ready to roll, and start on part 2. See if we can find this gold. Anyways, let me know what you think. Let me know where you think I messed up at. If I messed up at all, I'm sure I did. It did. First off being the MLCCs. I should have done those separately. But yeah, let me know what your thoughts are. This is going to be a long video, so thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on the next one.